southaltv.com, and you are here on WhatsApp London, and I'm your host Rowdy FAROOQI.
And I'm NAMRATA DHINGRA, your host for today. Welcome to the show, viewers. And if you're just tuning in, you can tune into southaltv.com, facebook.com/Southall Television. You can also phone the studio line on 0207 707 3227. So we're going to start our program today with what the Manchester attacks, I would say. We need to mention it.
Yes, absolutely.
What a week it has been. Our hearts, go out to the victims and their families. And from Southall Television, we want to convey our sympathies and condolences to them. With this, we want to start the show with this terrorism and mistrust and criticisms of the mainstream foreign policies that we have been hearing in the news this whole week, actually. And basically about the Conservative governments and Tory governments have taken a very different stand on the foreign policies, on terrorism and counterterrorism and policing. So today I think we will try and shed a little bit, talk a little bit about what this means to us as a society. The Labour Party obviously wants to go with a soft power approach, and all of us have been watching the news while Theresa May has been in Brussels and NATO. There is obviously a big dividing line now between the Tory government and the Labour government with reference to the policies with regards to counterterrorism, policing and things like that. So what's really going on, Rowdy, is I think that this government, the Tory government, wants to spend more on counterterrorism, that is MI5, MI6, and surveillance like GCHQ, so that they can combat terrorism at the source. Basically, they will stop giving visas and things like that. So obviously policing is a very different issue, because when we talk of policing, we are talking about knife crime on the streets, violent crime and things like that. But terrorism, you're talking about a completely different issue. It's got to do more with, the things that we are seeing today with reference to these attacks, and counterterrorism policies have become a very crucial part of this debate. And both the parties, the Labour Party and the Tory Party, have got various different stance on this point, and they're making it very apparent this last week. But what it means to us, first of all, you've seen recently images of the Scarborough beach, where military armed have been walking there with ammunition guns. So I mean to say, as a society, we need to think that, is this the way that we are going to see military and guns in times of terrorism? Is it going to become a common phenomenon? Because there might be a blurring of lines between what the military does and what the policing does.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I think people have to understand that what is actually going on, the bigger picture, So that's one of the things I wanted to speak about. So obviously we need politicians for the elections with some sort of a vision.
No, absolutely, that's absolutely right, absolutely right, yes.
So basically, how they are going to support the local communities on one hand, integrate local communities on one hand. Manchester is a prime example, wonderful society, wonderful people, very welcoming. I mean, we all know, living in Britain, Manchester is such a crucial part of our society. Liverpool, Manchester, Bradford, all these areas, and the whole of United Kingdom. What binds us is our cultural activities. So I think the politicians who are standing as members of parliament will now have to focus on the councils and community links. That is one factor that's going on. And then, of course, the central governments will be dealing with the counter-terrorism and, those kinds of issues.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
There are important debates taking place in society. And we really need to think about a lot of various factors. And as we go through the program, we will talk about this. Would you like to play that video, which we were going to see, you said?
Well, basically, I think before we go any further, and before I say anything else, I wasn't ignoring you throughout what you were speaking. Actually, I was sharing, different platforms, because that has to be done straight away. So you can actually get this program wherever you are and anywhere you are. So with that, I have to actually apologize for the last week. somehow during the program we had a microphone malfunction, and there was so much crackling noises and everything. And in fact, when I tried to watch that program myself later on, I was like, wow, what's happening? So to fix that, we've made a few changes. Hopefully today is fine, and today we're not getting these crackling noises. So we had a couple of videos which we played last week, Namrata, and basically, you know, that Southall is the key because we are Southall TV.
Right.
So we had interviews with Mr. Dr. Fabio Conti, who is a conservative candidate from Southall, and of course Mr. Varinder Sharma.
I think it's really important we play that video, because viewers, if you remember, we played this video before these this terrorism attack took place.
Exactly.
And now we want to speak about some really important issues in light of that terrorism attack that happened, and just
Absolutely.
see how this interview now sounds. So please go ahead.
Yes,
and then we would like to discuss
I'm gonna
this.
play Dr. Fabio Conti's interview first, and before again I play it, let me apologize in advance that when we interviewed him, our presenter Sarah Santosh, and actually I was there as well, and there was so much windy because we interviewed in the park, so please mind the wind, but you'll get exactly what he's saying. And I think what we said last week program, that being a doctor himself, I think he can understand the situation NHS is in right now. I think we'll touch more on that subject.
I think it's very Eurocentric as well,
Yes.
so I will put more light on it after the interview.
Yes,
So
okay.
let's just go ahead and play that now.
Hello, here today I'm with Dr. Fabio Conti, who is the Conservative candidate for Ealing and Southall. Hello, Fabio, thank you so much for meeting me. It's a pleasure to meet with you. So what are your key policy and pledges that you will be campaigning for in the run-up to the general election?
So obviously, you know, standing as a Conservative candidate, you know, across the country, we're all really standing to ensure that Theresa May gets re-elected for the strong and stable leadership that, you know, that she is promising for this country. Because over the next few years, there's some really important things ahead. So Brexit's going to dominate the political discussion over the next couple of years, and we need a leader who is going to lead us into those negotiations and be able to negotiate the best deal for Britain. And then after that, to actually implement it and ensure, you know, that we follow the right course as we move forward.
And the other thing is that within this particular constituency, there is a very strong Labour sort of hold on it. So what are you going to be doing personally in order to ensure that people are voting for you on June the 8th?
I think you're right. I think this constituency has been dominated by one party for 50 years, and it's a real challenge. And I think what's important is that we get our opportunity to put our message out there, and it's Southall is a really exciting and interesting community. It's a real melting pot of the world, with lots of people from lots of different places, with lots of different backgrounds, and it's about working with these communities, going out there, visiting religious institutions, for example, talking to people on the doorstep, putting our thoughts across about some of the problems that we have here in Ealing and Southall and Hanwell, where we are today in Elthorn, and looking at how as a community, bringing people together, we can solve those problems.
And in recent sort of elections, the Conservative Party, they did extremely well. They sort of managed to actually gain some of the Labour seats. And then we had the leaked manifesto from the Labour Party. And initially when it came out, people were starting to sort of change their viewpoint about Labour. They were sort of thinking, well, maybe this could work. So do you think that the Conservative, even though currently in the elections that we had before, they did very well, do you think they can still retain that popularity moving forward?
I think what's really important is no one's complacent, because no one really knows what's going to happen. You look at recent elections, whether it's the EU referendum last year, the election of Donald Trump, for example, in America. There are things people said that would never happen, and they happened. So, I think you can't trust polls. You can't trust, what the media often speculate about what's going to happen. And I think what people really need to think about is, you mentioned the Labour manifesto. It's a manifesto that makes a lot of claims, not everything that's costed. And, what people have to think about on the 8th of June when they go to the ballot box is that, over the next 5 years, who do you want to lead this country? When, the British Prime Minister goes to Brussels to negotiate on the behalf of Britain, who's going to stand up for Britain? Who do you think is going to have credibility and the persistence and the tenacity to get the best deal for Britain? And is that the strong and stable leadership of Theresa May? or is that Jeremy Corbyn? I think that's what people need to think about in the ballot box on the 8th of June.
And I know, sort of going on from that about Theresa May and the Brexit campaign, she has led a very hard-hitting Brexit campaign, and I know particularly that some of the other parties are thinking that the way she's going in is possibly not the best way. Do you think that Theresa May is the best leader to take the Conservative Party forward if you win the general election?
I think Theresa May is by far the best person to take this country forward. I think what she's shown over, the year or just under the year that she's been leading the party and been the Prime Minister is that, she's strong and she has a party that's united behind her. You look at the Labour Party today. Since Jeremy Corbyn was elected the first time to be leader of the Labour Party, they've had disunity, they've had reruns of their, leadership elections, and he doesn't even really command the support and the authority from his own members of Parliament. So when you actually want someone who's standing up for Britain, actually who do you want? Do you want someone who can't control or gather the support within his own party, or the leader who has proved over the last year that she'll say what she does, she'll stick to it, and that she has the strong backing of her party behind her? And I think that's what's really important, and the credibility moving forward, in those negotiations is crucial. And you talk, you mentioned about Brexit and Theresa May, leading us through that. I think so far, she said that, initially, she campaigned to remain within the European Union. She took on the leadership of this party, she took on the leadership of the country and enacted Article 50 as she said she would, and now is looking for a mandate to deliver on what the British people voted for last year.
Okay, brilliant. It's been such a pleasure to meet with you, and thank you so much for taking the time out, because I know you're very busy because you're a doctor as well in the NHS. I wish you all the best for June the 8th, and I hope it goes well. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you've heard Dr. Fabio Conti. So
Yeah.
मेरे ख्याल है एक्चुअली थोड़ा सा हिंदी पंजाबी वाला आ जाइए, ठीक है?
ठीक है।
क्योंकि जो अपने व्यूअर्स हैं जिन्होंने
वो भी enjoy कर सकते हैं
और
मेरे
प्लस
ख्याल
इस ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ इस प्रोग्राम ਦੇ ਦੇਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਗੈਟ ਇਟ ਰਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਨੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਫੈਬੀਓ ਕੰਟੀਨਿਊ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ?
I think that we ought to be moving beyond leadership problems of Labour Party. Okay, that's my first thing. I think we shouldn't be talking about leadership problems because so much was in the media about it. So
but this needs to be still resolved from somehow, isn't it?
Well, we can do that after the elections. Let's not do it now. पर मेरा कहने का मतलब है कि आपने ये इंटरव्यू देखा है और इस इंटरव्यू के दौरान आपने सुना होगा कि जैसे वो बात कर रहे हैं कंजर्वेटिव पार्टी लोग, ये ऐसे लग रहा है कि एक प्रेसिडेंशियल टाइप ऑफ इलेक्शन है, आई मीन रादर देन अ पार्लियामेंट्री इलेक्शन. तो ये ख्याल माइंड में रखना चाहिए कि ये लोग मतलब एक प्रेसिडेंशियल स्टाइल जैसे कि वो टेरेसा में बोल रही है वैसे सब चल रहा है. तो मेरा एक दूसरा प्रॉब्लम है कि ऑस्टेरिटी के ऊपर, ऑस्टेरिटी मतलब क्या है? ये इंक्रीज ऑफ पब्लिक डेट और डिक्रीजिंग का ग्रोथ भी हो सकता है. तो ये दोनों मतलब वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बातें हैं.
नहीं पर ओके लेट्स टॉक अबाउट दिस इन अ वेरी आम ज़बान में, हिंदी में बात करें आप कि आम लोगों को समझ में आए कि what we are talking about.
अच्छा, तो मैं यही कह रही हूँ कि जो भी पार्टी के बारे में हम बात करते हैं उन्हें तीन चीज़ों की मतलब ख्याल रखना चाहिए. एक तो ऑस्टेरिटी के ऊपर जैसे क्या हो रहा है, एक इस्लामोफोबिया के ऊपर क्या हो रहा है, और एक है एक रिस्पेक्ट एंगल होता है, मतलब जैसे कि हमारे जो वोट्स हैं या जो भी. तो मेरे ख्याल से और मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट बात यह है कि हमारे गवर्नमेंट को एक आदत सी हो गई है कोलेशन बनाने की, गो टू बेड विद दिस वन, गो टू बेड विद दैट वन. और ये मेरा ट्रम्प का जो कार्ड बार बाहर आ रहा है, इसके ऊपर भी हमें
डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प कार्ड, नॉट ट्रम्प कार्ड.
वो मैं कह रही हूँ कि जो ये डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प के बारे में मतलब टोरीज वांट टू गो इन बेड विद डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प. तो ये मतलब किस तरह के पॉलिसीज हैं और लेबर का स्टांस तो एकदम मतलब अभी हम वीरेंद्र जी की भी सुनेंगे, फिर उसके बाद हम उसके ऊपर भी थोड़ी बात करेंगे. तो वो एक अलग स्टाइल का कॉन्वर्सेशन होगा. उनका जो स्टाइल है वो एंटी वॉर की तरफ है. तो
फॉलोइंग द फुटस्टेप ऑफ द जेरेमी कॉर्बिन.
तो हम वो मतलब अभी उनकी इंटरव्यू देखते हैं, फिर उसके बारे में बात करते हैं.
उन्होंने बड़े एक्चुअली लोकल लेवल पे भी गल की सी एंड स्पेशली मैं ओके नाउ मैं अपने प्रेजेंटर सारा संतोष जिन्होंने उन्होंने इंटरव्यू किया ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ मैं स्पेशली एक गल मैं साਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਪੁੱਛਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਊਥ ਵਾਲ ਹੈ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਲਟੀਕਲਚਰਲ ਔਰ ਮਲਟੀ ਰਿਲੀਜੀਅਸ is a melting pot of different cultures and religions. तो मैं उन्हें पूछा सीगा कि तोड़ा ये सारे कल्चर को इकट्ठे रखने का की प्लान है? Because honestly, चलो I'm not going to talk about the rumors, but there are rumors. और वो जिधर पंजाबी जी कहते हैं जिथे धुआं होंदा उत्थे किथे आग लगी होंदी है ना. सो मैं एक उन्होंने इस करके पूछा सीगा कि की मतलब है कि जी तुसी जड़ी सारी कम्युनिटी और how you gonna what's your plan है ना, because there are rumors that there's some sort of favoritism going on and
fragmentation of society is a problem,
right?
Also.
So मैं उन्होंने स्पेशली पूछा सीगा और लास्ट प्रोग्राम ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਵੀਅਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਦਾ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਸ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਗੱਲ ਦਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਹੈ ਬੜਾ ਜੈਨਰਿਕ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ, ਐਗਜ਼ੈਕਟ ਜਵਾਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੱਤਾ. ਔਰ ਆਈ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਸੇ ਕਿ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ 2 ਦਿਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਰਿਲੀਜ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਔਰ ਆਈਵ ਗॉट ਅ ਈਮੇਲ ਫਰਮ ਵਰਿੰਦਰ ਸ਼ਰਮਾ ਜੀ ਆਫਿਸ ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਬਈ ਕਿ ਦੇ ਆਰ ਸਰਟਨ ਐਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਪਰ from his point of view, he's always going to be multicultural. I know. So, when election to baad pata lagega ke how far he's going to go actually doing that.
But he's got a track record.
But
because
yes,
for the last 10 years, you know.
So, mere khayal hai let's just quickly listen to what he has to say about his actually because we being in Southall, we of course election generally affects everyone in a bigger picture, but locally is very important also. Let's hear what he has to say about Southall and local. But before I go further, in fact, it's a good idea to actually acknowledge the people who are watching. Parvinder Singh, Parwar, Kuldeep, and Gurvinder Singh ji. इन्होंने कमेंट किया, nice to see you Rowdy ji, good show, keep it up. गुरविंदर सिंह जी साढ़े संगत टीवी ते प्रेजेंटर ने और बड़े अच्छे 2 प्रोग्राम करते हैं गुरबानी ते रिलेटेड. सो थैंक यू फॉर लाइकिंग द प्रोग्राम एंड थैंक यू फॉर एक्चुअली वाचिंग. और हुण सुनते हैं और देखते हैं कि what वरिंदर शर्मा जी has to say about his policies and his pledges.
Hello Vrinda, lovely to meet you again. So you're representing the constituency of Ealing and Southall. So what are your key policies and pledges at this time in campaigning for the general election?
First is the party policies, and I'm following those policies, and also then include some local issues. The most important for us is, which is different from the present government. The present government wants to make the election campaign on Brexit issue. We wanted Brexit along with national health services, education, housing, welfare, social care. We wanted to include those policies and the future selection of the society. What kind of society we want to see. So we want to make those policies together. These are the national policies. Then the local issues, which working with the local authority and other institutions like the Ealing Hospital, National Health Service locally, Ealing Council, the local police, for cleanliness, wherever the crime coming up, making sure that the unsocial element is properly controlled, children are given the better education, social services are looked after, the children have the benefit of the better education and nursery classes, working along with the local authorities. So these are the policies and these are the campaigning issues I'm working on with my colleagues and other people.
So I know that you touched on about sort of the local issues that you wanted to work on alongside the main sort of party policies and pledges. But we know that Southall is a very multicultural community. So as sort of if you were re-elected, how can you ensure that Southall maintains that multiculturalism, and how are you going to ensure that the community continues to work together?
We have always worked together. I'm in the British politics for 45 years. So I always maintain that view that we are the British politicians and it should not be looking at any other than the communities living here in Britain to work together. I will make sure that that kind of a cohesionness, making sure that everybody have equal rights, making sure that everybody have his speaking rights, everybody have the opportunities to promote their own faith in their own communities, rather than imposing on each other. So I will be working with the local faith groups, local community groups, making sure that kind of ill feelings are not created, but keep that relationships which we had maintained for the over 60 years in West London, particularly in Southall.
And how confident are you that you're going to be re-elected as a sort of Labour Party member?
I never said that I'm confident. I rely on the support of the public. They have given me a lot of support throughout my political life. I was elected as councillors before, then now a member of parliament for over 10 years. So now I'm as a candidate, which I'm sure that I will come back. I have the good faith in the community. I'm also confident that they will look at me, who is accessible, live locally. My children, grandchildren live locally. They go to the local school. So I understand the difficulties local families, local parents feel having it. As I said, that my grandchildren goes to the local schools, so it means that I know the distance of the schools when the brother and sisters given the places into two different schools, how difficult it is to the parents to maintain that the one child goes to one school and the other is 3 miles away. So I know those difficulties because I have gone through it. And I do raise those issues. Again, the fly tippings in the area, that fly tipping is also an issue which we have to look at. And these issues cannot be addressed on its own. We cannot rely on the local authority alone. It's a partnership between the local elected members, the Ealing Council, along with the public. If they all work together to make sure that fly tipping is not taking place, where the people are throwing the rubbish around is not allowed, how best we can deal with those issues so that we can have a clean environment. And I will be working with the local communities. So that's why I feel confident that my past record of working together, I will maintain that in the future as well.
And I wish you all the best of luck for June the 8th. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we've heard Mr. Varinder Sharma, or I think ਜਿਹੜੇ local issues ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਇਹਦੇ ਚ I think ਕਈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਔਰ NHS ਔਰ ਲੇਬਰ ਦੇ ਮੇਨ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਹੈ, ਪਰ I think ਇੱਕ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਤੋਂ ਉਹ ਹੈ ਪੁਲਿਸਿੰਗ ਦਾ, ਕਿ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੱਟਸ ਹੈ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ. ਸੋ do you think this should be a little bit above?
मेरे ख्याल से अगर आप ये बात सोचिए, एक सोचने की बात है, अगर वो मैनचेस्टर अटैक शायद साउथ हॉल में होता था, जस्ट मैं बोल रही हूँ, गॉड फॉरबिड, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. हम ऐसे ही मतलब एक एनालिसिस के लिए बात कर रहे हैं कि ये अगर हमारी कम्युनिटी में हो, हमारी पंजाबी कम्युनिटी, मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी, हिंदू कम्युनिटी या गुजराती कम्युनिटी, ऐसा कुछ होता था, तो हम इसके ऊपर अभी थोड़ा मतलब बात करें. पहले तो ये मैं कहना चाहूँगी कि ये जो अटैक्स के बाद एक तो कॉर्बिन का कैंपेन थोड़ा आगे चल रहा है.
We'll touch that because this is something very interesting I'm seeing in the polls.
Sorry, मैं पुलिसिंग के बारे में बात कर रही थी, और पुलिसिंग के बारे में मैं ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि जो इयन डंकन स्मिथ है, उन्होंने बताया था रिसेंटली कि 600 मिलियन पुलिसिंग में कट हुआ है बजट का. तो अभी मतलब इसका मतलब मेट्रोपॉलिटन पुलिस जो हमारी लंदन की पुलिस है, हमारे बारोस की पुलिस है, तो इसमें क्या होता है, तो वो कहते रहते हैं कि हमें इतनी पुलिस की ज़रूरत नहीं है क्योंकि नाइफ क्राइम, जैसे मैंने बोला है, वो वायलेंट क्राइम भी नीचे जा रहा है. लेकिन ये टोरी पॉलिसी का ये टोरी पॉलिसी कहना चाहती है कि लेकिन हम बारोस जो हैं थ्रू द कम्युनिटी, उनका रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है गैंग्स तोड़ने का. तो ये तो एक अलग तरीका का मतलब पुलिसिंग स्टाइल या काउंसलिंग के ऊपर जो मतलब अभी होगा कि दे शुड हैव मोर जिम्स या दे शुड हैव मोर आफ्टर आवर्स थिंग्स फॉर लोकल पीपल और स्टूडेंट्स.
This is good thing as well. However, that I don't think that can actually totally replace policing, is it?
Well, ये बात है कि हमें अभी मतलब जिस तरह से दौर से हम जा रहे हैं, एक तो बात क्लियर है राउडी के एक टेररिज्म का प्रॉब्लम है और एक पुलिसिंग का प्रॉब्लम है, और पुलिसिंग का प्रॉब्लम तब आएगा जब रेस इश्यूज होंगे, वाइट पीपल, ब्लैक पीपल, ऐसे मतलब क्राइम, नाइफ क्राइम, और जैसे भी मतलब जो लोग मतलब ऐसे होंगे। और तो ये दो अलग पहलू हैं बात करने का, लेकिन रिलेटेड टू क्राइम।
एक्चुअली अगेन टेररिज्म ਦੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਲਾਸਟ ਥਰਸਡੇ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਦਿਲ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ 'ਚ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਸੁਖੀ ਜੋੜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਪੂਰਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਡੈਡੀਕੇਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਾਨਚੈਸਟਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਟੈਕ ਹੋਇਆ, ਔਰ ਉਸ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕਿਉਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਔਰ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਮੈਂਟੈਲਿਟੀ, ਔਰ ਇੱਕ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਾਨਚੈਸਟਰ ਦਾ ਬੌਰਨ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ 22 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਏਜ ਸੀਗੀ, ਉਹਦੇ ਮਾਈਂਡ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਇਆ ਹੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ
radicalization to see
because why is not that ਉਸ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਬੌਰਨ ਹੋਇਆ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਬ੍ਰੌਟ ਅਪ ਹੋਇਆ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਉਸ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਸਮਝਿਆ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਔਰ ਉਸ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਲੋਕ ਸਮਝਿਆ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗੇ, ਪਰ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਲਾਸਟ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ, ਜਿਹਦਾ ਇਨ ਅ ਵੇ ਆਈ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਗਿਵ ਐਨ ਅਪਡੇਟ, ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਸਵਾਲ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਮੁਸਲਿਮ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਹੈ, ਆਫ ਕੋਰਸ ਦੇ ਆਰ ਰੇਜ਼ਿੰਗ ਫੰਡਸ ਟੂ ਹੈਲਪ ਦ ਵਿਕਟਮਸ ਐਂਡ of course everyone is against it, और मैं सवाल किया था कि भाई what we are doing is good, लेकिन isn't it a day later and a dollar short? पर मैंने ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਬਾਅਦ 2 ਦਿਨ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਹੋਰ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਆਈ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਫਰੈਂਡਸ ਨੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਦੋ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਓਕੇਜ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਕਾਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਦੀ ਇਹ ਇਸ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੀ ਸੋਚ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ, ਸੋ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਹੈਵ ਅ ਲੁੱਕ ਇਨਟੂ ਇਟ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੇ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਔਰ ਇਹਦਾ ਕੀ ਕਾਰਨ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਕਿ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਰਿਸੋਰਸਿਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਦੇ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਰੀਅਲੀ ਪਿਕ ਐਂਡ ਚੂਜ਼ ਵੇਅਰ ਦੇ ਟੇਕ ਐਕਸ਼ਨ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ। ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਝ ਦਿਨ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਕਿ I can't, sorry, my apologies, I forgot the name, but one of the police higher officials some time ago said to Prime Minister, she wasn't Prime Minister then, and उन्हें क्या कि जी ये situation इधर दी आ जानी if you keep on cutting police their resources or on budgets कि एक दिन तो आर्मी स्ट्रीट पे लाके policing करनी पड़नी है।
और वो
and I think she was a foreign secretary at that time, so उन्होंने उस time तो उन्होंने क्या कि he's fear mongering now, but that situation आ गई है। So isn't it important for the communities to actually know that they are safe, police actually can be there because they don't have to pick and choose which crime they or which information they act on, which they don't?
I think you've raised a very valid point, because when you talk of a counter-terrorism policy, and then we are talking about the British born here, either he's radicalization or whatever online, or making these bombs through YouTube, whatever channels they have got through social media. They're calling it as counter-terrorist policy because they're linked to gangs and networks and all these things. But actually you're right, because they have said about this asylum, they gave the parents asylum, इन्होंने parents को asylum भी यहाँ पर दिया था, तो ये मतलब एक extreme version of Islam है। तो हमें ये नहीं भूलना चाहिए कि वो जो हम बात कर रहे हैं उनके माइंड में एक एंटी वेस्टर्न नैरेटिव चल रहा है, अलग टाइप के लोग हैं, अलग टाइप की सोच है, अलग टाइप की आइडियोलॉजी है। तो जो भी मतलब मेरे ख्याल से इवन टोरी पार्टी है वो एक आइडियोलॉजी से लड़ रही है।
Right, absolutely, because at the end of the day, if you look at it in that sense of it, first of all, let me clarify this, that ideology has that nothing to do with Islam anyway, right? Or it's completely, the radicalization, oh, mere samnal is a twisted and distorted their own version hai, nothing to do with Islam. But problem hai ki that problem we need to understand that it exists, is there, और जेडी community है वो तो अपने तौर पे जो भी कर सकती है वो कर रहे हैं, और I'm glad के they are doing it.
But it's not only to the community,
exactly.
It is down to the state as
exactly.
well. And the problem here is that the both parties, the Tory party and the Labour party, they have got a very different stance on how they want to tackle this, this situation on counter-terrorism.
Namrata, we have a caller here. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
This is Sinamani here.
Mr. Sinamani.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, ji. Thank you. Thanks for calling, Mr. Sinamani. Actually, can you please give us a little introduction of yourself and your background, please, so our viewers can know who exactly you are as well. Thank you.
Yes, I'm a sort of part-time journalist. I used to be an education officer, and I have been involved in local government for many years.
Brilliant.
I'm elected Labour Mayor of London Borough of Lewisham, among other things.
Wow.
I served on many statutory bodies in this country, like the Ecology Board, Labour Authority, London Transport Authority, and so on.
Wow. So you've been around then, sir. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so basically what I wanted to ask you, especially with your experience and you've been part of this whole establishment for so long. What I want to ask you is, we were talking about just before you called, we were talking about the issues of policing, issues of immigration, and of course education, NHS. So can you just give us a comparison of pros and cons of different policies of different parties on those issues?
The Tory government is trying to impose an arbitrary cap on the number of people who can come into this country.
Mm-hmm.
And their failure to disaggregate the students and family visitors and so on, and adding them onto the numbers, exaggerates the numbers.
Okay.
It makes it very difficult for people, for instance, from the Indian subcontinent or Africa to come here for family visits, etc. I have had discussions with the Prime Minister and the former Immigration Minister, Damien Green, that they get nowhere with them. They have a set mind and they don't want to listen to people outside their own immediate circle.
Okay. So,
and what we want is a rational immigration policy, which enables talent from India to come here and work, gain experience, go back to their own country and establish bilateral trade relationships and so on.
Absolutely, yeah.
And obviously India hasn't got the infrastructure to absorb all the engineering graduates they produce, and there's a extreme shortage of engineers in this country. So why should Indians come here and expose themselves to the experience of working in a Western country and take that experience back to India and help to develop India?
Well, is it not the issue here that the people who actually come here, work in this country, they kind of never leave? Is it not their concern?
These are all hearsay. We need exact facts as to how many people actually overstay, and why is the government not able to, if you go to America, when you come out, they check you out.
Okay.
When you go in, they check you out.
Absolutely.
And if you overstay, then they penalize you, they ban you from entering the country again. So we are a much smaller country than the United States. We have all the technology. We can make sure that people who come here of a specific purpose, say family visit, they go back.
Yeah.
And the other thing is students. A lot of students want to come to England to study because they speak the language.
Yes.
They go to Germany or France or somewhere else. They'll have to learn a new language. That's very difficult. They already speak English. They want to come here. And they bring money. They bring a lot of talent.
Yeah. But again, so same thing. Well, with the money, they'll offer dodgy colleges and dodgy universities sprung out as well. If you look back a few years, we had a huge issue, especially in West London, that those colleges were sprouting everywhere, and there were fake students from everywhere. So, is it not that leads to something like this? So,
that again is for the government to actually make sure the colleges that are able to recruit or that welcome students are properly constituted, and they have the staff and capacity to train people. Because if you are sitting in Africa or in a village in India, it's very difficult to decide whether the college you are going to is a good one or a bad one. It's for the government to decide. They've got the British Council which can monitor these people, and by and large all these fake colleges have disappeared.
Okay, that's a good point of view. Okay, now let's talk about NHS for a bit. What your opinion on that? Because now, of course, Labour's main agenda, I think, is NHS, and the Tories are kind of not going toward that.
especially their social policies are very much apart, because they are saying if someone gets dementia or Alzheimer's, they have to pay for the whole country's care. I mean, how fair is that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a toll fare. A toll is an insurance scheme where people have paid over, some of them in my case, 60 years of working life. And if I'm 81 years old, in a year or two, if I become ill, I expect the government to pay for it, because it doesn't come out of the government pocket, it comes out of a pool. And the idea of an insurance system is not everybody is going to get dementia. So the ones who get it must be treated properly, and without actually not putting an arbitrary cap. Arbitrary cap doesn't mean anything. For instance, 100,000 on a house in London is different thing on a 100,000 in a house in Newcastle.
And that's what I just want to say, Mr. Mani, because, you know, they're talking about the regional productivity index across UK, and the housing, there's a big gap of affordability between across sectors. So what is this 100,000 cap? How can it work in London and at the same time somewhere in Bradford, for example, when there's such a massive price difference?
Absolutely.
It's badly thought through, as Osborne, former Chancellor of the Exchequer and ex-President editor of the Evening Standard said. This policy is very badly thought through. They have not gone into impact studies, how it's going to impact on different groups of people in different parts of the country. And therefore it's a very bad policy.
Mr. Mani, I just want to ask you on state intervention now, because the Tory party is giving a lot of importance to the state taking control with protectionist policies. Now, I'm talking about the identity of the parties. How much are they apart, the Labour identity and the Tory identity, with reference to the state? Because we are living in a liberal times now, and the last thing I think, we are so used to doing things, you know, like with a free hand. If the party with the state intervention comes into power, of course that's going to change for the community as well, for the voters as well, isn't it?
It will impact differently on different people. As far as the poorer sections of the community are concerned, state intervention is very necessary. We are going to, for example, we are going to have a good health system. The state has to provide for it. The private sector, if it provides, it will only provide for people who can afford to pay. If you want a decent education, the state has to pay it. State has to provide it because no one else will do it. Of course, for the very rich, the private sector will provide it. So we need to factor in the fact that the vast majority of people, without state intervention, become helpless and marginalized. That's what happened in this country. That's why we have Brexit. Because a whole number of people, particularly in the north, have become marginalized because they have no jobs. If they have got jobs, they are very poorly paid. Their trade unions have been undermined, and the state has not intervened. Now, of course, the state has begun to take some interest. They have introduced the minimum wage. Now they are talking about living wage. All this is very important. And without state participation, you cannot have any of these.
According to you, Mr. Mani, I mean, I know you've been the former mayor of Lewisham, and obviously in your experience and expertise, what sort of policies, I mean, because Sadiq Khan, as the mayor of London, he passed a comment that this is the most anti-London PM we have had. So, I mean to say for our voters, like, I mean, you know, what sort of policies should they be aiming for? Because if the policies are anti, you know, London, for the London people, then what does it mean in the real terms, like?
In London, for a long period, we have tolerated a large number of poor people. There are more poor people per size of population in London than anywhere else. There are a whole number of people who are paid very poorly in London. London is, at the same time, a very rich city, and it has rich pickings for the top 5% of the population. What Jeremy Corbyn is saying, that we should make it a more equal society, in which the poorer section particularly have access to public housing because they are unable to afford a house, as you know, as much as I do. In the smallest flat in London costs in the region of 400 to 500,000. Most people don't earn enough money to borrow money on a mortgage basis. So only social housing can alleviate their problem. Then when it comes to wages, why is it in one of the richest cities in the world, we have so many poor people? Nowhere in the developed world we have as many poor people as we have them in London. And this government, in order to appease the people in the north, are trying to actually say London is doing very well, we want to transfer jobs and things like that to the provinces. That's not the way to grow the economy. To grow the economy, you have to invest. And that's why very important the Labour Party is saying they will help small businesses, they will establish an investment bank whose sole purpose is to assist small businesses to grow. These are practical policies.
But Mr. Mani, well, now Labour is saying that, but where they're going to find money to do all that? Isn't it?
First of all, you've got to separate in any government expenditure. You have two items. One is the revenue that you get for the taxation,
yes,
and that you spend on services. Other is the investment. Investment pays over a long period of time. There's no harm in borrowing money for investment. What is wrong is to borrow money for current account. It's the same as you. You can borrow money to buy a house, but you shouldn't borrow money to consume media, because you should live within your means. And we are saying the government should actually separate these two items, not conflate them together, and say people borrow money for, first, to improve our infrastructure. Infrastructure includes our education system. We are not training enough skilled workforce. In order to enhance productivity, you have to raise the skill levels of people. And we are not doing that. We are dependent on foreigners to come and take over jobs which our people are not able to do because they haven't got the necessary skills.
So basically, what the point is that we borrow money to invest it back into education and get people ready and able, so they can actually earn that money back for the country. Is it right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
It's an investment. It is not a current expenditure.
Okay, that's very well explained, to be honest, because this is the question we've been
Trying
asking,
to
answer in last couple of programs as well. That yes, easier said than done, but as you explained it very nicely, that if
The Labour Party, as far as I know, I'm not privy to their inner discussion, as far as I know, they make a very sharp distinction between borrowing to invest and borrowing to spend on current expenditure.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks for calling.
I had one very quick question, Mr.
Fine.
Mani, and this is to do with the politicization of this Brussels meeting, where Theresa May called a press conference to put Jeremy Corbyn down. Can you just give us the bigger picture within 2 minutes, please?
Yeah, that's a good thing. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Theresa May is rattled because he thought it was a walkover. Now it's turning out not to be a walkover. And they also demonized Jeremy Corbyn on one hand, and they also tried to say that he was a bumbling fool. By comparison, in the public debates and meetings Jeremy Corbyn has had, he has proved to be a very formidable politician with deep knowledge of the British social system, and able to offer solutions to real problems which concern people. That's why people are switching back to Corbyn. And they are in a quandary. They haven't thought through their policies. He went to the electorate saying, stable, strong and stable. But now she is proving to be not only weak and wobbly. And people can see through this. Jeremy Corbyn is seen as calm and collected, and he's able to answer questions as honestly as he can, and he's prepared to compromise with others in the Labour Party who have different views to him. And he's not a one-man show. He believes in collective responsibility, collective leadership, and people are now disabusing themselves. The idea is some kind of bumbling fool who doesn't know what he's talking about, and May as somebody who knows what he's doing. But even according to her own supporters, such as George Osborne, and if you ask privately some of the cabinet ministers, they will tell you, this woman, as Kenneth Clark wanted, this woman is not only difficult, she's making policy on the hoof, embarrassing the Tory candidates on the doorstep, and doing all sorts of harm to the Tory party. And that's why the election is still open. We don't know what the outcome is going to be. but certainly may have proved to be not up to the task.
Well, now we have to see what happens on 8th of June, because of course they've been talked about. Things have happened in recent past. No one expected us to actually say yes to Brexit, and no one expected in America Trump to win. So anything is possible in elections.
Can I actually say one thing very specific to the Asian community? As you know, I'm president of the British Organization of People of Indian Origin.
Of course, sure.
We have an existential problem in this country.
Sorry.
Existential problem.
Okay.
Mrs. May, despite all the sweet talk about multiculturalism, multiracialism, and all the rest of it, she has a strain of nativism, what people call nativism. They think England belongs to a certain type of person, white-skinned, English-speaking, and people like you and me are outsiders. We are here on tolerance or on sufferance. It was more likely on sufferance as far as he's concerned. He hasn't got a positive attitude towards it, despite the fact that our community has done extremely well. We are making a contribution disproportionate to our numerical strength. Despite all this, apart from the sweet talk, all we have is Trump. He has gone to see Trump. Trump is an out-and-out racist. Who is actually trying to deny visas to Indian workers who go there and have been working for years, helping the country to develop one of the fastest growing new technology fields. And we need to work with everybody. I don't underestimate Mrs. Day, but she should understand we are human beings too. We have feelings. We need to have members of our family at weddings and funerals and other events connected with the family. And we are organically linked with India. And the Indian population in this country can help to open doors for economic cooperation between India and Britain. He's not sending high-level delegations or some VIPs from here. Indians are very smart. They are not the backward countries that they rule. India has progressed. India is now, by all definitions, the fifth largest economy. It has overtaken Britain, but they don't acknowledge it publicly. India is the fifth largest economy. And they should be treated with the respect that is appropriate for an economy of that size.
Yes.
And cooperation must be built on the basis of constructive ideas and not, we had some connections, we used to rule you, so we are coming here. We are in a bit of bother. Could you help us?
Well, time has changed. Those days, I think,
behind us.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is why Jeremy Corbyn once again is a thoroughbred internationalist. And he had gone into the May as Prime Minister to India. He would have had a different kind of welcome, as you know. He received the India Gandhi Peace Foundation Award and all the rest of it. He's highly respected in everywhere in the world for his human rights campaign. Whereas May is very parochial. She's a very nice lady. I've met her and I've nothing unkind to say about her.
Yes.
But she is not of the mold that young people, particularly in this country, want.
Okay, Mr. Mani, thank you very much. I'm sorry, but we are running out of time here.
Overwhelming number of young people in this country, that is people between the age of 18 and 34, are going to vote for Corbyn.
Yes.
Unfortunately, older generation still harks back to the glory days of the empire.
Sir, thank you very much for calling. Actually, we are running out of time of the show as well. And your actually contribution was
we are very thankful to you, Mr.
Brilliant.
Mani, for this phone call and this lovely conversation that we've had. And we tell our viewers to circulate this, share this video with all your family members. आप सबको दिखाओ और ये बात सुने कि हमारे जो अंदर जो हो रहा है, ये बड़े मतलब फॉर्मर मेयर ऑफ लुईशियम थे और उन्होंने ब्रिटिश ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के प्रेसिडेंट भी हैं, तो उन्हें पता है कि वो मतलब 50-60 साल इस कंट्री में उन्होंने पॉलिटिक्स देखा है, ग्लोबल पर्सनालिटी है. तो आप प्लीज़ इसको सुनिए, इनकी बातों को
No,
और
and it's
थोड़ा
दो-
मतलब
हाँ।
उन्होंने काफी मुद्दे खोले हैं जो हमें खोलने में थोड़ा मतलब
नहीं एग्जैक्टली और प्लस देखो अपना नम्रता मैं जो देखो बात बड़ी कहते हैं बात निकलेगी तो फिर दूर तक जाएगी बात बड़ी दूर तक चलेगी आज पर ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅੱਜ ਰਿਜ਼ੋਲਵ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਜੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਨਿਚੋੜ ਕੱਢਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਨਿਚੋੜ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ when we were going through the policies and pledges and manifestos and when we read that Labour is saying we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do this, and the first thing we discussed before the program, even before the first program, where they're gonna find this money, they're gonna have to borrow.
And he's explained that how this investment works
because if you borrow to just spend it now,
exactly. So these are long-term investments, and we have to look at it in a different way.
Kind of makes sense. But acha, time thoda da cut reh gaya because I wanted to show you 2 more videos from last week, but I don't think we have time to cover those, so we'll do that next week. But Namrata, I think it's time we talk about the changes in the ratings in the polls since last week.
Yeah, I'm really I mean, you know, to say that what I've been seeing is that a lot of काफी मतलब you know, labor ज़्यास्ती खुल के बाहर आ रहे हैं अभी.
It's a transformation we are noticing because
polls में थोड़ा मतलब बदलाव जरूर आया है. वो कह रहे हैं कि 9 points lead है already और थोड़ा और हो जाएगा तो फिर टोरी पार्टी को थोड़ा वरी में आ जाएंगे. लेकिन अभी तक उनका मतलब सोच रहे हैं कि हाँ इन लोग नहीं विन करने वाले हैं. जेरेमी कोबिन तो शायद कोई लोग वोट नहीं ये तो विन नहीं करने वाले हैं. लेकिन जैसे ब्रेक्सिट में हुआ और जैसे स्कॉटलैंड रेफरेंडम में हुआ तो कुछ भी हो सकता है यू नो फ्रेंड्स. और हमें ये देखना है कि ये पॉलिटिक्स किस तरह से
पर आई थिंक द मेन ਗੱਲ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੈਗੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਊਥ ਹਾਲ ਦੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੈਂਡ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੀ ਕਿ ਭਈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੋਟ ਹੈ ਐਜ਼ ਆਈ ਸੈਡ ਇਨ ਦ ਵੈਰੀ ਫਰਸਟ ਬਿਗਨਿੰਗ ਆਫ ਦਿਸ ਫਰਸਟ ਸ਼ੋ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੋਟ ਹੈ ਇਜ਼ ਯੋਰ ਮੋਸਟ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ੀਅਸ ਐਸੈਟ. So ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ so you need to make an informed decision or not on hearsay. ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਧਾਰਾ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ you never know. But ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ I mean I'm talking about the first episode ਹੈ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਾਈਂਡ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਇਮੇਜ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ elections are in the bag for Tories. ਔਰ ਇਨਫੈਕਟ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਕਿ when we try to approach them to come and talk.
But now we know why they are not coming out. I've already mentioned in the beginning of the program they're running the elections in a very different format.
Different way. और ये भी एक खास गल है बड़ी खास सोचने वाली कि why this is happening because you can expect that it's happening in America because they have a presidential type of government. But we have a parliamentary type of government. और जे साडी Britain the government being parliamentary type of government if it's run like a presidential election, so
who are they pleasing? It leaves the question ke who the government wants to please.
And it's not just that, isn't it a little bit dangerous in the sense that we're going back to the days of one person having say on everything? Because if you look at the local level, what happens in American election is all about electing the president. It's not about actually electing the local government.
But you know something, this manifesto that has been released, जो manifesto टोरी पार्टी का रिलीज हुआ है, मेरे ख्याल से वो भी एकदम क्लियर नहीं है. एक ग्रीन पेपर आने वाला है, वो इलेक्शन के बाद आएगा. उसमें मतलब वो जो 100 हाँ अभी तो मतलब ये लोग ने एक ब्लैंकेट अगेन यूनिवर्सल टाइप ऑफ यू नो मैनिफेस्टो में लिखा है कि ये 100,000 सोशल केयर का ऐसे जाएगा. पर अभी मतलब अगर ग्रीन पेपर में इलेक्शन के बाद वो शायद 72,000 इवन लोअर हो जाए तो प्रॉमिस मतलब अभी 100,000 का किया है, इलेक्शन के बाद फिर कुछ और हो जाएगा. तो ये भी मतलब बातें क्लियर नहीं हो सकती हैं बिकॉज जब वो बनेंगे पार्लियामेंट में तब जाके हमें पता चलेगा कि कौन सी पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंट हो सकती है, कौन सी पॉलिसी होने वाली है, कितना मतलब पॉलिसी का किस तरह से होगा. ऑब्वियसली एक तो मतलब एडवांटेज है दैट दे ऑलरेडी इन द गवर्नमेंट और यू नो विद जॉर्ज ऑसबॉर्न एंड डेविड कैमरन के साथ मतलब जैसे भी उनका चल रहा था अब जैसे चल रहा है उनको अभी तक भी मतलब एडेड एडवांटेज है
हाँ,
बिकॉज
of
दे
course.
ऑलरेडी सब उनको पता है. तो अभी हमें ये देखना है कि किस तरह के पॉलिसीज जिस तरह से हम सोच रहे हैं, मतलब जैसे वो कह रहे हैं वो होगा नहीं होगा, ये सब बातें मतलब सोच के वोट देना है
हाँ
प्लीज
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिकॉज जो सच्चाई है वो तो ये है कि बाद यू विल नेवर फाइंड आउट अंटिल समवन मेक्स द गवर्नमेंट राइट. जो असल कहते हैं जमा छिट्टा ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ
Yeah.
ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਖੁੱਲੇਗਾ ਜਦੋਂ they will someone will be in government in the seat. ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ I think ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਸੋਚਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ before we go ahead and do that ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੇ national level ਤੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ what are the issues what your concerns are ਪਰ ਨਾਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ local level ਤੇ ਵੀ we need to think ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ local issues can be very different from the general issues of the country. Now we are talking about as you said कि Islamization ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ or you know Islamophobia ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, so not Islamophobia ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ. ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ if you generalize it all over the country, it means totally different from on a local level कि ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ areas ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਹ ਲੋ ਕਿ Asian population ਹੈ ਔਰ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ Muslims और Hindus और Sikhs और ਸਾਰੇ ਮਿਲ ਜੁਲ ਕੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ that thing means completely different. So we need to in fact be very clear about these things, okay, what these means on your level, on your local level, and of course on a national level. Baki before actually I go any further, Balveer Dhillon te Sukhdev Kama Smart Navi Parvinder Singh Parwar or Mehdi Kamal, Jatinder Singh, Gurtaj Singh, they're watching the program and they like.
Thank you very much for watching our program and
thanks for
your
liking it.
interest.
Yes, exactly.
Please keep sharing the video, and if you like it, then please do send us comments. You know, number one, it makes us realize that we are doing the right thing for
Absolutely.
the community, and also number two, if there's anything like you want to be addressing issues you would like us to talk about, or if you want to phone in and things like that, if you want to even sponsor, you can even then contact the studio.
Exactly, because the fact remains that yes, every channel actually works based on the sponsorships, and we are not any different. And we bring you this program every week. Now, unfortunately, we can't take phone calls because we've got only 2 minutes left. But we are here every Sunday, 6 o'clock. And well, it's not a promise, by the way, because कई बार ये कहते हैं ना कि promise ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈ ਉਹ कोशिश पूरी हो जाती है, प्रॉमिस नहीं पूरे होंगे. और तो बेसिकली इस मैं इस करके प्रॉमिस नहीं कर रहा, पर 2 मिनट रह गया लास्ट है. और उधर मैं ये जरूर कहूँगा कि okay, sorry, I can see there is a little bit issue here going on, but I think
yes. You were saying about you want to. Is it about next week's program?
We've
got 2-3 interviews lined up.
Yeah, 2-3 interviews lined up.
As well as some.
Basically, सारी कोशिश ये है कि इंटरव्यू अपा जिन्हें लोगों ने कीते हैं, we can actually play again and again, so you get refreshed. लेकिन आपको time the limitation करके sometimes we can't. So there, again, as I said, there is no promises here, but we will try our best. उस तो अलावा ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ कि last week जो election ਦਾ week है, we will bring you more updates more quickly, maybe 15-minute segments, so just you get the updates कि ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ और ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ election ਦੇ 'ਚ. Or I think I'm sorry, I need to apologize again. Looks like our screen is frozen for some reason. This is the first time I've seen it, but anyway, for now I think we need to say goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
And thanks a lot.
See you next Sunday.
See you next Sunday.
And thank you very much for watching the program.
And I hope as soon as I switch, it will be fine.